Welcome into the Cactus Golf Podcast. I'm back here with the co-host Matt Eriks. I am Blair Bouye. What's going on?
What's going on, Blair Bouye? How are you?
Doing good. We got a good show. I think I'm excited. We got a good recap and prediction show for this past year, this past season, and what we think is gonna be happening next year for 2023.
It's going to be popping off next year, man. I got some feeling. It's got a feeling in me.
It was a good season this past season, too. I mean, a lot happened, obviously. A lot happened.
Yeah.
We're going to see a little bit more of what happened here in this Netflix documentary, too, here soon. But a lot went down, obviously. Scotty Scheffler. Hold on, we'll go. So we're doing the recap and predictions before we get too deep in the weeds. And then we also have, our the match recap, QBE shootout recap, and then a little betting corner update, even though we don't have anything to bet on this week. We'll do a little recap on where we stand right now, going into a little bit of a break before, what is the Century is the next one, I believe. Century Tournament of Champions, I believe, is the next one.
The PNC Championships this week.
Oh, that's not a PGA event, though. I was thinking for a betting corner, I was thinking.
Yeah.
So the next one we're going to be betting on is Century Tournament. That's the first weekend in January. So that's what we got lined up for our episode here. But yeah, we're going to do a little bit of a recap here for 2022. I'm going to go over the quick major winners. Masters, obviously, Scotty Scheffler. PGA Championship, Justin Thomas.
JT.
U.S. Open, Matthew Fitzpatrick. The Open, Cameron Smith. And we had FedEx Cup, Rory McIlroy. Not a major, but FedEx Cup, Rory McIlroy won that one. Any takeaways there? I mean, obviously, from who won and overarching points?
No, I mean, I'm just looking at the list, seeing Scotty win was exciting to see him.
Kind of came out swinging big time at the beginning of the year.
Correct. He came out incredibly hot. I think he held the number one spot for quite a few weeks too, going into the Masters. Matt Fitzpatrick was kind of like I don't want to say out of nowhere, but kind of out of nowhere.
He's been kind of flirting a little bit. He's been
kind of nice to see.
He's been flirting for a while.
Name. Cameron Smith, that was just a cool one to see him win the Open, bring that trophy back to Australia. He won a couple other tournaments too. He just won one in an Australian PGA event, I believe.
He won the Australian, their version of like the Open, the Open or something like that.
Something
I believe.
like that.
I forget what they called it. Yeah, it was like their version of that.
So, no, I was just I was pulling my notes for this too. Did the exact same thing. Winners from the four majors, and just looking into, we had obviously this past 2022. You had two seasons technically, right? Like the ending of the 2021-2022 season and the start of the 2022-2023 season. But we're recapping all of just 2022 in golf in general. So not just like the season, like the full calendar year. And looking at it, like of those four winners from the four majors this past year, Scotty Scheffler has two top 10 finishes this current season. JT, he's played a few times. He hasn't played too many times. I think he played at the CJ Cup and obviously the match and obviously Hero World, right? Matt Fitzpatrick has only played in one tournament this year so far. This season so far.
For 2022-2023 season.
Correct. Right. And then Cameron Smith obviously went to live. So of the four, if you can count the match as one, JT and Scotty have been playing the most. The other two, and again, one's kind of a random one because it goes to live, but Matt Fitzpatrick, you haven't seen too much of him recently.
No, I can't remember if he's been on DP tour or not.
He played a couple of.
I know him and like Rom have been playing. Rory's been playing the DP a little more, so I haven't paid too much attention to what they've been doing over there.
No, I don't pay a lot of attention at all.
I just know that Rory won one of the DP awards over there recently. But yeah, I haven't seen too many leaderboards over there. But yeah, I mean, good. I mean, it was obviously, like we said, a really, big year. And as far as news, it dominated headlines. It's so many things to go over. So it was a good year. I had quietly, I was looking at this for making my notes. Quietly, I feel like Sung Jae Im was second in the FedEx Cup. So I was looking at that. I'm like, I did not know that. That was kind of came out of nowhere for me. He finished second in the FedEx Cup. I thought that was interesting.
Last season, you're saying?
Yeah, behind Rory. Yeah. Behind Rory.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting.
Interesting.
He's a guy I've always liked. Whenever I was doing my my drafts with my group, I would do major drafts with. He's somebody I always liked targeting. He's just good, solid. And he's already had some good finishes this year. We've went over before. So that was the recap of the big finishes in 2022. I have here most wins. Scotty, not surprising, right?
Yeah.
That was Waste Management. He won his first of the year in Waste Management here. Arnold Palmer a couple weeks later. Dell Technologies Match Play, and then the Masters. So I saw Foreplay had like their awards they had recently. The Foreplay podcast and whatnot had their awards, and I can't remember. I think they gave him Player of the Year. Can't argue, of course, but can you? So I have a few notes here. Obviously, Scotty, a great year. I think the reason you can't argue, he had an insane year, right? Masters win, 4 wins overall, most money, but it all happened at the beginning of the year.
Correct.
It all happened really quick.
I was thinking that he burned out.
He still had really good finishes. He burned
out, but he didn't keep. I mean, Tiger held the number 1 world ranking for what was like 300 and some odd weeks in a row. Okay,
sure, yeah.
So he like doubles. The hell is his name? The CEO of Liv, Greg Norman. Jesus, he like doubles. Like I was just saw like a standing of that recently. So I would say that in a sense he, burned out quickly.
It's just, it all happened so quick, and it was an insane run he was on for like 2 months there.
Yeah.
And then he still had good finishes. He just never really had another win. But Cam Smith, I think you could argue had a better year. So he won 3 times on the PGA, and then once on Liv. He won Liv Chicago. So he won the he won the Century Tournament of Champions, coming up here soon. He won the Players, which is like the 5th major everybody talks about, right?
Correct. TPC Sawgrass.
The Open, and then Liv Chicago.
Yeah.
And so 4 wins still, 1 on Liv. You can argue smaller field, whatnot, whatever. But 4 wins. Scotty, 11 top 10s in 25 PGA events. Cam Smith, 7 top 10s in 18 PGA events.
Okay.
So it's very arguable that he had a better year. And, again, his wins were all throughout the year. So Century was like the first tournament in January.
Correct.
And then the Open was the last major of the year. And then Liv Chicago was even like a month or 2 after that.
Yeah, that was in September.
I think it was like 2 months after or so.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he kind of was there the whole year. So whether they want to weigh that or not.
We just talked about how he won that Australian event, too.
Sure.
It's another one.
But that was technically 2022-2023 season.
Well, it's all we're talking about Player of the Year for 2022, though, right?
Well, I was just going the whole season.
That's where it gets confusing.
That's why I was going the season.
Gotcha. Yeah, so you went all the way back to 2021 then.
Yeah. Not a lot happens this time of year, but it counts.
Sure.
But, yeah. So I think, again, Scotty is Player of the Year. Can't argue too much, but can you? I don't know. You can't really, get mad at picking Scotty at all, but it's definitely a good argument. I think Rory was up there too, but I think it's a clear 1, 2, and Rory's probably a little distant 3.
I like Rory, but again, to your point, I
like Rory, but it's not. He just didn't have the year.
No, I was just saying, like, I liked him for a player, but it's more or less he got hot. He won once earlier on in the beginning of the year, and then he won 3 times later on in the year.
And he had an insane moment at the Masters holding out on 18 with him and Morikawa both hold out from the bunker.
Yeah.
That was insane.
I feel like that kind of kickstarted his ramp up.
I think he was like 9 under for that final round too.
Yeah.
So I had him on my draft on that major. I had him in my draft. I think he was like 9 under, and I almost won the draft from that.
I'm going to look up. So I'm pretty sure after that tournament, he went like crazy hot. Either after the Masters or maybe a couple ones after that. He got hot quick.
So so that was 2 players I really wanted to shout out and just went over that. I thought Scotty I think was the proverbial Player of the Year already, because I think whenever the season starts and you get set off to such a hot start, people get it in their mind, and it's kind of hard to replace like what they've already seen. And then I think
that's fair to say.
Cam Smith just had an insane year still. It just didn't all happen at once. So, like, the candle was a little brighter at one moment for Scheffler, whereas Cam Smith, shined through the whole year. Instead of just shining really bright at one time.
That's a fair statement.
If that makes sense. But,
that's a fair statement.
And then we also had Liv. So, Liv Golf obviously got started. Dustin Johnson won that individual award there.
He made a crap ton of money.
He made a lot of dough.
Yeah.
And then his team, 4 Aces, won the team event as well. So that's Dustin Johnson, Patrick Reed, Taylor Gooch, Pat Perez. So yeah, I made little bit of cash.
You made a TikTok said you'd smash him. Pat
Perez can smash. I think DJ was a double smash.
No, yeah, and it was a very, honestly, in my opinion, for a startup, they had a decent year this past year, I would say.
I mean, I think it was like more of a joke whenever people they knew before anybody any players committed. It was more like a joke. Oh, this thing's just it's just being talked about. It's never going to happen, and then it actually happened.
I honestly, if you look they were a startup, obviously.
Well, yeah.
So their first year, they picked up how many decent players, well-known players? Quite a few of them, right? They got a lot of attention. Obviously, there's a document that came out recently talking about what their goals were. Like some consulting firm laid out a plan as to exactly what benchmarks they had to hit in certain times this year in order to turn successful and turn a profit. And this was what the one document says is they would turn a profit in the year 2030 something.
Well, yeah, they have no. It's very need to turn a profit because their pockets are the deepest in the world.
They're
right now,
they're as deep as the depth of the sea.
The money is no issue.
Correct.
For right now.
But there was a lot of things where one of the plans was you have to sign Tiger Woods and the consulting firm that did it. I also want to see if you work for this consulting firm, how with the research that goes into behind, how did they all right, you need to lay out this plan for this golf organization that needs to, essentially start from scratch and gain all this talent. What's the best way to do it? And they're just money. Oh yeah, money and sign Tiger Woods. That'll do it. I just want to know who is a part of this or group that in this consulting firm that made this, because I feel it's got to be a tough job.
Yeah.
But then at the same time too, it's easy to say sign Tiger Woods. It's easy to say a lot of this stuff as a consulting firm, right? It's it's easy to say, get a TV deal. Oh, great. Sell X amount of tickets by this date. Great. That's easy to say that, but to actually go and do it, in my opinion, I think they had a pretty decent year. Not probably what they were looking for.
I'm just surprised that it was so kind of thrown together. Because you had players kind of joining while they already had events going on,
correct.
So their fields were changing.
Cam Smith didn't join until the year. Yeah, until August.
So I was just surprised it was that they did it that way, and I don't know, it was just really odd. He's just they already started the year, and I was surprised also were the players that committed in the middle of the season just need more proof of concept, were agreements on the amount of they're being paid being worked out.
That was right around the time gas prices started going up, so they probably were man, it's getting tight around here. That contract sounds a little better to me.
I hope some of that comes out in the documentary for Netflix. That'd be interesting to see if why.
I highly doubt it because I think it's a PGA run documentary. They're not gonna put anything about.
But I know DJ was part of the group that committed to.
But I'm curious if they pull all that content.
I'm interested. Yeah,
we'll see.
It has to be talked about some. There's no way it's not talked about at all.
I feel they make it worse if they don't talk about it.
Yeah, it'd just be awkward. It'd be awkward. But yes.
What do you think? What do you think Liv needs to do going into 2023 to remain relevant?
Well, they're obviously relevant.
Well, to remain relevant and to continue growing.
To remain relevant, all they need to do is have nobody leave to remain relevant.
Correct.
As long as nobody leaves.
To continue growing.
And I wonder first of all, tangent, I wonder how that would work if they left. Obviously, they have to give back their signing bonus, right? I assume that was attached to some kind of
there's some kind of
time stipulation to that.
Yeah, there probably was work.
So that would have to be one thing. But as long as nobody leaves, they're going to remain relevant.
Will the PGA take them back right away, too? That's another question.
That would be so petty.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
That would be incredibly petty. But I'm here for it because that would be drama. But I think they just to get more players. That's all it comes down to.
So I think I agree. I think they need to sign at least
in a TV deal. That
was my one. That was my number two. Was at least 3 more big names in 2023 and a TV deal.
But what's a big name?
So I have my 3.
I had one prediction. I came up with one player. I didn't do a bunch. I had one.
I got 3. Who do you got?
So we'll go ahead and move. We'll transition to the predictions.
We're going in.
The recap's done. We'll go to transitions then. So my one I didn't go big. I saw in August there was an article written that had actual odds of like who was.
Oh, really?
It was in August though. It wasn't
updated.
Everything.
Everything I feel like in this world.
And this was August, and it had the lead, like the highest odds, highest percentage to join was Hideki, and they had it at like plus 350 at the time, which the equivalent percentage, like probability comes out to like 25%, which I thought was kind of high, I guess.
That's pretty high.
But that was the highest.
Interesting.
I can't remember exactly who was below it, but he was the highest. I think. Gosh, I can't remember who was behind him at like 22%. But yeah, he was the highest. But he just seems like a live golfer to me. I don't know what that means.
Hideki does?
No. Sorry, my prediction. Sorry. Yeah, my prediction just seemed like a live golfer. It's not derogatory, but it's just like he seems like somebody would be on live. I don't know why.
Okay.
But it was Mito Pereira.
Oh.
Just seems like a live golfer to me for some reason.
I think
because I had to double check. I was like, is he already on live? So I had to double check their rosters, and he wasn't.
How the heck do you even spell his name?
Pereira. Pereira. Why?
I'm curious. I thought I saw No, definitely did not see one. There's another article about someone. I forget the person's name now. The name just sounded familiar. I didn't recognize the name right away. That's friends with Sergio Garcia, and Sergio Garcia had an event at a golf course like a month or so ago, and that guy was there playing in the event too, and they're like really good friends. And there was talks that he was going to jump over. I forgot who it was.
I will say though, it seems like there's been more. It's hard to say friendliness when you've heard all the like quotes about like Rory and Greg going back and forth and whatnot, Greg Norman, and like Tiger's kind of gone in that a little bit. Yeah. But it seems like the actual golfers that are on PGA and Live have kind of had more cohesion, a little more friendliness, I guess, towards it, because they're not really. It seems like most of the fight is with Greg Norman now.
Yeah,
they're like, like this can work. Basically, is what there's the gist of what they're saying. It's just Greg's got to go. I think that was exactly Tiger's quote. Was Greg's got to go. Tiger and or Rory said that.
I wonder why. I haven't looked into it.
So I know Rory had a thing with Greg a while back. I was reading about how Rory congratulated Greg on something, and then Greg immediately. I don't know why I'm on a first name basis right now with Greg Norman, but I am now.
You said Rory, so that's
I don't know. First name basis apparently now. But Greg then chirped Rory immediately after being Rory congratulated him on something. I can't remember what it was about.
Yeah.
But Greg kind of chirped him about something separate, a few weeks later on some other UK broadcast or something like that. And so I guess he's like, "Oh wow, you really said that about me after I said this about you," or something like that. And I don't know. I can't remember if it was petty or not. It sounds petty the way I'm describing it, but I think there's more to it than the way I'm describing it. I can't remember the exact context of why, but that's basically.
I would hope so. It just sounds very.
Yeah, petty. It sounds petty from the way I described it. I can't remember the exact context, but yeah, it was basically a back and forth that happened a couple years ago. I think that kind of led to that, and then obviously the live things kind of just exacerbated it.
Yeah. All right. So I think I got 3 names, 2 that I'm feeling okay with, and one of them is kind of a long shot, but I think it's possible. My first one is Patrick Cantlay. I can see him going to live.
Okay.
So there was talks about he confirmed around June, July timeframe, where a lot of players were starting to leave, that he got a contract that he was interested in, but decided at this time it was not the right time for him. So that made me think, okay, that's weird to say that way. And then another person who he's really good friends with is Xander Schauffele. And he had another similar conversation.
I feel like I've heard rumors about Xander going.
Yeah. I did remember hearing a rumor about him about a month ago saying that he was going to go. So
he was up there on that list of odds I saw.
Yeah. I can see both of them flopping over. My third one, it's just kind of a long shot, but I feel like he's relevant, but he just hasn't been playing relevant. He played a few weeks ago or a few months ago. He played relevant, but Ricky, I can see Ricky jumping. I can see Ricky going. I feel like that guy spends more time on commercials and advertisements than he does practicing his actual game. I don't know. That's just. I mean, he can sweep me up. He can mop me up on the floor on a golf course, but just in my opinion, you see him everywhere, but then he just doesn't perform. He just doesn't. He does not perform. So I can see him one day just being like Pat Perez, just all of a sudden be like, I'm going to go over here, I'm going to make a lot more money, and just stay relevant now. Sounds good. I can see it happening.
Sure.
Those are my 3.
So Liv's slogan is golf but louder. That's basically how Ricky dresses, right?
Ricky, yeah.
He dresses that way. The highlighter.
Yeah. I can totally see it. The only thing I can see, is has any a couple PGA golfers lost sponsorships when they went over to LIV.
Oh yeah.
So I'm curious,
DJ lost his is it RBC?
Yeah, but he made that comment.
And he's like, well, I don't even know what this stands for.
Yeah. But I could see I wouldn't see Puma dropping Ricky though.
I have no idea.
I just wouldn't see
I think Puma is UK based. I don't know what that means as far as losing that or not. It's UK based,
Bryson
I believe.
Is Cobra, and I think and Puma actually. I'm pretty sure he is also Puma.
Yeah, he is.
So, and I'm pretty sure he's still wearing all his other stuff still. So even after he went to LIV. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the only thing I could see Ricky that he might not do it is if he starts losing some sponsorships because I think he's a money guy because he is not. He just remains relevant from staying in all these damn commercials. I feel like.
Even if you lose sponsorships, you can still get other sponsorships.
Correct.
Right? So,
yeah.
And just again, this is,
the pay,
LIV is a Saudi-backed league, and this was kind of in the news lately is Cristiano Ronaldo. Mm-hmm. So he is at the end of his career, I don't know if people will listen to this or soccer fans, I know you're not, but Ronaldo's at the end of his career.
I have been a little bit lately.
He's older, and big clubs don't want him. And he's been phased out, basically been kicked out of Man U. He kind of forced his way out. Nobody else wants him anymore. So a Saudi Arabian team is hey, yeah, we'll pay you. I think it was $200 million a year for 2 years, or it was 2.5 years, something like that. And he's going to play in a Saudi Arabian league, which is not as good of a league as Premier League in England,
it's kind of
Spain.
It's kind of like Phil. The PGA kind of got sick of him. He started playing poorly, and then besides he had the PGA Championship win a few years ago, and then he's like, you know what, heading over here and going to get paid more in his Saudi league.
But my thing is, so Saudi Arabian league, they're going to have plenty of sponsorships of Saudi Arabian companies that are huge, obviously, that can fill in that spot of that sponsorship you just lost.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of money still to go around, even if you lost a sponsorship.
Yeah. Petroleum. Gasoline sponsorships. Just big old motor oil company sponsorships.
Plenty.
Yeah, I'm sure. Who do you think? I don't know if you looked into this. Do you have any early predictions for majors?
So I made a
maybe not at each specific major, but
so
one person.
What I wanted to do when I went to my majors predictions, I first just made a list of who. Because picking the individual person who's going to win that major is so hard.
100%.
So I did that in parentheses as I figured if you were going to ask that.
Yeah.
But I did my 4 major winners of I think these 4 are the major winners. I don't know which ones they're going to win.
Gotcha.
That's what I did.
Wow. I didn't do that deep. I just picked I know one person who I think who's going to win at least one major.
Okay.
But go ahead. We were
so
going with this.
I did Finau.
So that's that. Yep.
This is turn the TikTok camera on.
Let's do
TikTok camera's on. This is Tony Finau's year.
I think
this is Tony Finau's year. He's going to dominate it. And he's going to win the Masters. That's what I have here. Masters. So a little insight into me today as well. So I made a futures bet. This isn't going to be...
betting corner.
It's not going to be betting corner.
Yeah.
So I did a futures bet of Finau to win the Masters.
Really?
Plus 2,500.
Okay.
I think it was 2,500. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like
so
that.
I did that. Along with some other bets, so it was a combined feature. So I did the winner of the World Cup.
Did you see that
NFL.
one? Did you do that because of that one guy? I saw that video recently. That one guy who made the futures bets for
$500,000.
Yeah, he put $20 on it. That's crazy. He was just waiting on England to win or something like that. France. Yeah. That's crazy.
So I did that. So
he picked he picked the Astros. He picked
Astros. He picked all the major events to win. Yeah, it was college football, college basketball, NBA, NHL.
Wow.
World Cup, and I think 1 or 2 more. Yeah.
That's incredibly impressive.
That's so hard to do.
Oh my God, yes, 100%. There's an infinite amount of variables.
But the reason I did that is because, for one, I just want to have some action, just because it'd be fun. It's fun to have action. Throw $2 on it.
Yeah.
And for one, I think Finau has a great shot of winning. It's huge odds. So obviously it's crazy odds. So far away, you don't know what kind of form he's going to be in going up to that time. But also, I just get it because if I hit the France bet, it's going to happen here in just a couple weeks to win. And then Georgia, I did to win the CFL or CFB. CFL, what the hell is that? CFB, college football. which they're 1-4. They're both those start down to 4, the World Cup and then college football. I can do a cash out. I'm assuming they'll give me a cash out.
Yeah.
And the Tony Finau bet will just increase my odds, right? So I'm hoping I can cash out that way.
That'd be pretty cool.
And if I might just let it ride. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I thought it was cool. So I did that. So Tony Finau, this is his year, 2023.
I can't
He's
wait
going to
till
ball out.
I'm editing this clip one day and after he wins the Masters, and we're going to post it. I'm excited to do it.
And then, again, secondarily, Tom Kim.
You're a fan of the guy.
I have him winning the PGA championship next.
Okay.
Tom Kim, sneak peek. He's my rising star this year. So I think Finau's going to dominate the year, but like Tom Kim's like the guy. Like, Finau's already arrived, right? Like he's already we know Finau. We know he's an established top 10, top 15 golfer.
Yeah.
But Tom Kim, he's the rising star.
What the heck is the acronym? There's so many damn acronyms. The PIP? No. P.
Yeah, PIP.
Huh? The players, the money
impact program. Yeah,
there
PIP.
you go. PIP, right? Yeah. Do you think he'll end up on that list this next year?
I doubt it, just because the way the formula is.
Yeah.
Because Tiger's it's not about what you did that year. It's more about it's you have to be at the top of everybody's mind.
Correct.
Really, and it's go off Google searches.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to be. I think you have to have more extended success. I think to be able to be on the PIP. I think he could, I guess, if he does well enough.
How many times has Max Homa won? Because he was on there.
Yeah, but I feel like he's been in the limelight for a little bit, for a couple of years now.
I feel like he's been in the limelight because of other media.
He started off as a Twitter thing where he critique my swing.
Yeah.
And that's a good way to at least get known. And that's Twitter searches. I'm sure that that plays a factor.
Any golfer that stays relevant on social media helps him obviously dramatically.
And it probably helps that Max Homa is American.
Yeah,
I assume. I don't know how it works, but I assume it goes off Google searches and
is
if
it
you're
only in a certain country, is it total?
Well, I'm sure it's worldwide, but
I have no idea.
I assume American golfers, I imagine, have more Google searches than because the population is larger in America, right?
China has the largest population.
He's South Korean,
but I'm sure that obviously the U.S. has a larger population in South Korea, but golf is also extremely popular.
Right. So I guess Asia. He might have more of a pie of all athletes, maybe.
Yeah.
But either way, Tom Kim.
Curious.
Tom Kim, I think. And then my other two rounding out my major winners are Cam Smith. I think a live golfer winning a major is going to happen. I think that'd be sick. He's obviously in great form still, and it'd be great headlines. So
when did you say he's going to win again?
U.S. Open.
U.S. Open.
Again, these are just my major winners. If I had to pick a major for him, these are the ones I would pick.
Correct.
And then Rory the Open.
I like that.
And then I have FedEx Cup Rory again.
I like that.
For FedEx.
So like I said, I just picked I thought of one person who I thought would at least win one. I said Rory was one of them. But then I put in a small little note there. I said I could see Tony winning one too, the way he's been playing recently. I said the exact same thing. I think he's going to be he's a people's golfer, man. Everyone loves Rory.
Everyone loves him.
Everyone ever since when Kobe passed, he came out at the Waste Management wearing Kobe's jersey, the shoes and everything. He was more popular. Obviously, he was popular before that, but he's just the people's guy, man. Everyone likes Tony. There's not a problem with him.
2023 is Tony Finau's year.
We'll see. I got most wins, I think, next year. I think is Rory. I think he stays hot.
I didn't do most wins. If I'm going most wins, Finau.
Am I a rising star? I'm surprised you didn't say this. I'm not surprised.
Did you say Hoagie?
No, Taylor Montgomery.
Okay.
I love Taylor
Montgomery.
Well,
he's a rookie. You could go rookie of the year.
Yeah, but just a rising star in general, too. I think he's had 3 top 10 finishes this season. Obviously, it's his rookie year. So the past few months. So I think he's really gonna push himself in the limelight. Really gonna start getting big. So I think that was pretty good. I like this. The little recap. And
I did the post. We did the post on our Instagram of our big movers. I did from last year to this year, and he didn't make it. Taylor Montgomery didn't, but he could have easily made it. He just wasn't in my cutoff.
Yeah.
And so at the end of 2021, what do you think he was ranked? In 2021.
Well, he was over 1,000.
Oh no, not that one.
500?
No.
360.
361.
Okay.
He is now 62nd. So obviously a huge mover.
Yeah.
Huge mover.
That is an incredibly big move.
Yeah.
I think it's a good one.
Yeah, so I got my next to live I had under my next, or I'm sorry, wait, no, I'm skipping my notes here. Next to live, Mito Pereira. For my live prediction, individual winner, I'm surprised I went this way. Honestly, I surprised myself. I'm going Bryson.
Very interesting.
I'm going Bryson.
You see his
I was good. I
transformation
wanted to.
lately?
What's that?
See his transformation lately?
That's crazy. That's part of the reason I picked him.
He lost a lot of weight.
Because,
got really fit.
I mean, he put on all that weight and like he explained how unhealthy he was. Like, and it makes sense. Like he blew up.
He was big.
And he's like, oh, I feel so much better. It's like, yeah, probably.
I saw a video of him recently, and like just in his face alone, you can see his jawline and everything.
I can't believe how ripped he is.
Yeah.
God, he is ripped.
He is.
He's a brick house.
He is.
But yeah, so I got him. Cam Smith, obviously unbelievable, but I think Bryson can get it done. He's healthier. He's had some health issues, and it wouldn't surprise me. The way he's been eating kind of contributed to that.
All the protein shakes that he drank on the course. Wasn't there like a thing that he drank like 4 protein shakes on the golf course?
Yeah.
I'd be like, dude, I would never be able to hit the ball. I'd be in the bathroom every 10 minutes.
So
I was doing that.
I think he can get back to form, and he won that U.S. Open, I believe, right during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
He can get back to that form.
He won the Rocket Mortgage Class. He won a couple of different ones.
So he's my individual winner. The teams aren't established yet, so I couldn't pick a team winner. But
no, I like that. I think I got Cam Smith.
Yeah, I mean he's playing so well.
He's playing incredibly well, and I like the guy too. Yeah. I just really like him. I think I love that video of him after he won the Australian tournament. You see that one at the
He's like
bar?
drinking. He's watching himself
win. And I was like, yeah, he's all chugging beer and stuff.
That's
like
hilarious.
It's just I don't know. I think a lot of those golfers are big drinkers, though. I mean, did you see JT? You posted that in a story. He was drinking the Coors Light that was in the car.
I didn't see him drinking it, but like the way I saw it, the people said like the person was like covering it. And he was like there in person, took a picture of it, posted on Twitter, and said, "Oh, Coors Light in JT's car."
Yeah, I mean, come on, I think they're all big drinkers because I remember the.
We know Tiger is.
We do. I don't know. I don't think Bryson is though.
Well, you probably can't when you're already full from all the protein shakes.
Honestly, yeah. Or if he's so lean right now, he'll have like one beer and be falling over. It's go right to his bloodstream. But no, I think
Cam Smith.
I think Cam Smith is going to be he's going to be the one for Live this year.
Sure.
So, and I hope they change some of these names. I doubt they do, or at least the logos with these Live teams.
Yeah, the teams are really bad.
Or at least release some merchandise. I think I'd actually buy some merch.
Well, so what I was thinking when you said Cam Smith, what he needs is an individual as a person. He needs to do is like sell like fake mullets, so people can like wear like his mullet,
Yeah.
So he needs to do that. I could see people rocking that, especially in Australia.
Oh my god, they'd be rocking that thing like crazy, man. That'd be pretty funny.
He should do that.
I think it'd be good. Hey, Cam, if you're watching, we'll hook you up, man. We'll make it for you. All right. Anything else you got to add?
No, I mean, for my rising star, I did have a couple bold takes, though. I have Tom Kim. Obviously, I picked him one major win. He's going to have one major win and 3 total victories on tour. That's what I got for him.
3? Rory had 3 last year.
Cam Smith had 3 on PGA.
Yeah. Should we see?
So
we'll see.
That's all I had though for my predictions. You got anything else?
No, that's all I got. Just wanted to talk about the match.
The match.
7.
So I told you, JT and Spieth pulled it out. Rory would have had to. He had to carry it, and he just couldn't. I think I didn't watch, but I was following on Twitter, and they were running away with it. JT and Spieth were, but it looked like they were like kind of sandbagging it a little bit to like keep it, somewhat respectable.
Yeah.
I saw like JT like miss I think like a 5-foot putt or something like that, pulled it just to they like I think they tied the first hole and like won the next 3 or 4. And okay, let's keep it close here.
It was fun. I didn't watch a lot of it. I was working that day, that night. But I thought I like the banter they have back and forth. I like having the headphones.
So
in
JT
and
and Charles Barkley had a lot of banter.
Yes, he said that what did he say? The moon thought he was an Oreo or something like that. It's just so stupid. Yeah, I saw that. I like the one where I think it was JT hitting or Spieth was hitting, and Tiger put the cart back in reverse. You just hear the just going on. That was pretty funny. I thought that was. It was good to see like a fun environment for something like that, because like they're all serious, obviously, like in some matches. But I would love to see like what some of the golfers are saying, because I'm sure there's probably some banter back and forth. There's got to be a little bit. I mean, I played sports.
Well, there was that one time where Tiger like outdrove JT, and he's like looking at his balls. Like, is that mine? He's like, oh no, mine's way up here.
Yeah. That's fun to watch, man. I like that. You know, it was. The night golf, too, was different.
So I saw people tweeting about that, and they're like, oh, should we do more night golf? I'm like, I don't think we need it.
I don't think we need it. I don't think we need it as far
just for events like that.
Yes. But like, fine. I think we need it more in the U.S., though. Like, for
casual.
Any of us
not for, like, PGA events.
Correct. Yeah. Like, because, like, I feel like I don't know a single course that I have, in the states that I've been to or lived in, where they've had a lighted course.
I've seen them, like pictures.
I've seen pictures of them. I think I've seen a lot in like
I feel
Saudi
like I've
Arabia,
seen,
and like Dubai,
China.
And stuff.
I feel like
or China. I see them there, but I don't see a single.
I mean, that would take so much lighting.
I know, but like you got to think about it.
Like it's not just like a stadium.
100%.
A huge area.
It's a ton of. It's a massive area. You'd have to put up a lot of different light posts, or not light posts, like big old stadium lighting in many different areas. But I think you'd have to turn a profit. There's no way you wouldn't. There's no way. You would build up golf 24/7. And realistically, what is the course? The only thing I can see that
they wouldn't do 24/7. You still need to do maintenance and whatnot.
Correct. But the only thing I could see that with the maintenance piece is that like the amount of use the course would go through.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I can think of that would be like, okay, that might not be a good idea. Unless they.
So many people are golfing like overnight. Like you need to like give workers time off and whatnot.
Yeah, but you can have there's night shifts. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but
like
are you making enough from people golfing to cover?
You should. If you're making, I mean, the person realistically, what they're going to sit in the clubhouse and check people in. That's about it.
You need more than just one, right?
Why? What else do you need?
Well, somebody clean the carts off, right?
You just have to have expectations. Like if you're going to golf at night, like you probably just won't have the same experience. Obviously, just depends. Like if they can, I think they probably can afford more, but I don't think they really need.
I don't think it's necessary to do 24 hours a day.
Well, it doesn't have to be 24, but like night golf in general. Sure. You can golf till like
night golf
2 o'clock in the morning. Let's say that's like the latest it goes to. You have to be back in by that time. I think that would be awesome. I would play. I would 1,000%.
I think it's bigger for like this time of year where it just gets dark so early.
100%.
Yeah,
exactly. Like it has to be in places where you can golf year round, obviously too. So like here in Arizona, I think it would be incredibly a big hit. Plus, like you got colleges nearby too. People are up playing late. That'd be a fun time to like. I'm gonna go drink some beer while I play, but it's like your way of pre-gaming. That'd be fun. I would do it. Like when we went to IU, I would go to Taylor's Par 3 and just play and drink, and then go out and party afterwards. That's fun.
I don't think I would have done that in college.
I 100% would. 100%.
I don't think you would have, honestly.
You
say it now, but I don't think you would.
But I remember I played. A bunch of us played there. I think it was when you were in our internship. We played there. We all came there with a few cases of beer, and we had to call up some of the girls. To
but you didn't go out, did you?
No, because we got way too drunk.
Exactly.
We got way too drunk. We couldn't. We got to get picked up. We had to get picked up and brought back, and we would passed out because it was bad. We drank a lot, but. I think it would be a fun
because by the time you get done like golfing, you're tired and like you're not gonna want to go out or something. So I don't know about pre.
And again, too, like maybe it's not 18 holes, maybe it's 9 holes. It's a shorter time event, right? Like you don't have to play for 4 hours out there. You can play 9 holes, get in there and out in an hour and a half.
Sure,
it'd be fun. I would totally do it.
I'm sure people would do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd definitely be profitable. Anyways, back to this.
Yeah. So the match, JT Spieth won. A lot of Charles Barkley banter. Barkley, he made headlines for just having an awful swing.
Yeah.
And now he's just doing all these commentaries for golf, like the match and whatnot. He's like, what the heck?
He's fixed his swing so recently.
Random. A little.
Yeah, it's much better than the...
It works.
Yeah, or like
it works.
Whatever it is.
Not that I'm one that judges swing.
100%, but
it's just like so random that he's like commentating these things. I guess he works for TNT for NBA, so I guess it makes sense because on TNT. But whatever.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah,
he's a big golfer now, though. He plays at the Phoenician.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he lives out here. Fun fact. I don't know if you knew that.
Did not.
So
next we have the QBE. QBE shootout.
What does that stand for? Do you know?
Good question.
I'll look it up. Keep talking.
Good podcasting here. QBE shootout. Make up whatever you want. Quebec, Britain, exchange.
It's a northern global insurance leader.
That was close.
It doesn't even have what they.
It's got to have something.
It's maybe about us. Here we go. Let's see.
QBE.
There's literally not a single thing of what
keep
this stands
looking.
for.
I'm gonna. So Hoagie Thigala, Tom Hoagie, and Sahith. So I thought it was Sahith, and I heard the interview afterwards. Tom Hoagie, I assume he knows how to pronounce it because he played with him, for 3 days.
Yeah.
He said it was Sahith or Sahith. I think he pronounced it Sahith. So I thought it was Sahith, but it's Sahith apparently. Sahith Thigala win over Charlie Hoffman and Ryan Palmer. Came down to the very last hole. Last hole, it was nail biter.
Yeah.
We both had bets on Hoagie Thigala, and I didn't think you had one. I didn't check while I was watching. I'm like, yes, I'm 75 units. Let's go. Yeah. Apparently, you thought the opposite. I'm like, yes, let's go. Came down to the very last hole. And Thigala came up clutch.
He had a nice putt.
Yeah, he came up clutch.
You want to know what this stands for? It's very weird. I shouldn't even bring this up. So, in 1886, the Q is the North Queensland Insurance Company. So, 3 companies merged.
Sure.
So, that's where the Q comes from, is Queensland. The Bankers and Trades Insurance Company, that's where the B is. And then the E was the acquisition of the Equitable Probate and General Insurance Company. That's QBE.
That was close.
Yeah, that's this is like a 150-year-old company.
QBE shootout, whatever you just said.
Whatever you.
Exactly. Hoagie Thigala over Hoffman and Palmer. Some other notables were Homa and Kisner finished 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Nelly Korda, Denny McCarthy were tied 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty decent finish, I guess. And McNeely and Thompson were tied 10th. And then who finished really bad was Jason Day.
He was up there too. He was up there. I think he heads to the list though. I think he heads to the list. I don't know. We didn't get a little whiteboard or anything, but we can get a little something.
So is he on your list or not?
I think he has.
I told you
he finished.
Nothing personal against the guy, but I'm never betting on you, man.
I think their group finished 10 strokes behind the leaders, so they were hot too. Like they started off 61, and then it was on round 3 on Sunday. They shot a 70. They shot the worst on Sunday. So, you know what? I'm not gonna say no just yet, I'm not gonna say no just yet.
I didn't see his individual scores. Like I don't know if it was more Horschel or Day, but.
I don't know.
I know who I bet it was. I'm just kidding. I did see Horschel miss a couple putts there. That on the
technically it's both of them because they were both playing. Yeah. But I'm not gonna. I won't say anything really. They were in contention. They shot 61-61.
They were like
Hoagie
second, I think, at some point.
Yeah, they shot 60-60. So they were only 2 strokes behind going into Sunday. So
guess what? Sunday counts. So
Sunday does count. That's okay. That's okay. So Did you see what Thigala said in that interview you're talking about, though?
I know he had like an injury he was playing through the final round.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's what you're talking about.
No, he said that my dreams never got past getting a tour card, so I'd be lying if I said I didn't exceed my own expectations.
Interesting.
I was like, okay, well, that sounds pretty bad. Like, at least I would lie. I would be like, oh, I definitely saw myself up here, or at least have bigger goals for yourself. The guy's goal is like, I just want to get my tour card and keep it. That's literally what his goal was, he said.
Fair enough.
I mean, what did you say? All his low expectations and what the heck is like exceed your expectations? Yeah, I already you said it the other a couple months ago. We were laughing about it. It's very random now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's when you set your expectations low, but then you exceed someone's expectations. You set the bar low, and then you surpass them.
Wait, stop talking. Maybe I can think of it.
See, I know you're thinking it.
And the wheels are churning.
Yes, I know you're thinking. Crap, man.
I know what you're talking about now. I just can't think of it.
I know.
I feel like I heard it from somewhere and I stole it from somebody.
I know, because you said it and I liked it, and I was like, I'm going to use that one day. And then I actually used it at work a couple weeks ago.
I can't think of it right now. I'll have to think of it after the podcast.
Oh, listen, this is interesting. Tiger Woods is making a new golf ball switch for the upcoming events.
To what?
I don't know, I just saw the article right now.
Breaking news.
A different golf ball, and he teased up next Bridgestone's Tour BX.
I was looking at those today.
Yes. Yes, you are. He has been playing Tour BXS. Now he's playing Tour BX because he's looking for more distance and lower spin. Fun fact. Man, it's really bothering me that.
I can't.
Keep talking. I'm gonna think.
I mean, we're up. We got betting corner update.
That's right. The scoreboard currently sits at.
We're both up 75 units
from last week. So now I am plus 1,000 units. I'm just kidding. I'm down 395 units, and you're down 207 units.
207. I knew I was right. I thought, was it at 284 right? I was. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, you must have been.
Yeah.
So
we're getting there. Let's go. 200, and that's doable.
That's not bad.
I was doing the math. I was looking through my history. Not doing the math. I was doing my history, and I've hit 3 of the last 5. So I've gone like hit, not hit, hit, not hit, hit the last 5 weeks from what I found in my history. So maybe taking a couple weeks off will erase my no hit, and I can just go straight hit back to back.
That'd be
taking a couple weeks. So
yeah, we're having a couple weeks off from it. So I think I wish you could bet this week. If you were able to bet this weekend,
the PNC.
Yeah, who would you bet on?
I haven't even looked at it at all. The only people I know are playing are Charlie. I mean, what even is it?
It's like a family event. So if usually people who are together the Dailies are in it. Justin Thomas and his dad are in it. Tiger and his obviously Charlie. So the Dailies won last year. So my prediction was the Thomas family this year. Actually,
sure. That's
who I think.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't think I saw it on DraftKings.
There's odds on MGM.
Sure.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's I think it's because there's kids playing. That's why you can't get it.
That makes sense.
That's probably
that makes
why.
Sense.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So how does MGM get around that? What the heck?
I think they were just giving the odds for it. They weren't actually letting you gamble on it.
For all the illegal bookies, these are the odds we would make.
Correct. Yes. Exactly. It was yes. I like that. I don't know. It should be I think it's playing in the Ritz-Carlton in Orlando, Florida. You know who plays there at his home club is dude who's been hitting golf balls with paint on him. Coach Rusty. He's that's his home course.
Yeah, I do see him always tag that place.
Yeah. So that's where they're playing. So anything else you got?
That's all I had.
That's all I had.
No interview this week.
No interview this week. No bets this week. Just some recaps and some predictions of this past year and predictions for 2023. And we've got how many more episodes till the new year?
Maybe 3.
After this one, it's 2.
Oh, 2 after this one?
2 after this one. So we're almost there. It's going to be a long distance one next week.
Yep.
Should be interesting. So that's all I got.
That's all we got for this week. Stick around for a couple more episodes this year before we get into the new year.
New year, new us, right?
All right, that'll do it.
Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share the show, leave a review. We appreciate you guys. See you next week.